the moniker I've been performing under for the last handful of years. And I'm just hopping on here to say hi and show my face and have a little check-in because, I have a lot of big news and have had a lot of changes in my life. So I just moved from Oakland to New Orleans about a month ago, and things are really great here. I'm really excited about the music scene, and I just already feel really at home and have been just really enjoying life. The other big news is that I am releasing my first record. It's a 5-song EP called Fool for the Proving on April 19th. And the first single off of it, All for Nothing, is coming out the week prior on April 12th. And then I'm playing a release show at the Ivy Room in El Cerrito on April 26th. So kind of every Friday of April got a big exciting thing for y'all. And I just want to share a little bit about the making of the record and kind of my journey as an artist. And I also wanted to hop on here and very humbly ask for your financial support in this final release stage. There are a lot of big costs that come with releasing and promoting a record in a kind of strategic way, namely mastering, making a music video, that's the biggest one, promotional costs. I'd like to do a press release and get a little bit of press support, and then paying musicians to play the release show, paying them generously. And this is on top of all of the expenses that went into just making the record. I'm a totally self-funded musician. I come from a middle class, working class family. I've worked in education for the last 5 years. So while I have made the decision to pour a lot of my savings into the making of this record, I just moved. I haven't secured work here yet, and so I would feel more financially comfortable, if I were to have a health emergency or a car emergency, etc., if I didn't have to just dip so deep into my savings. I'm willing to do that. I'm going to do that regardless. And it's really hard for me to ask for money, especially just there's so much going on in the world and there's so many causes that really deserve our attention and finances and resources. Namely, there is a genocide happening in Palestine right now. And so it feels like a bit of an ego trip to come on here and be like, hey, you should give me your money to support my art. But I'm trying to overcome that narrative because I really do believe that art is work and that artists are making really valuable contributions to society. I think of all the artists whose music has touched me at a really challenging time and how grateful I have been for those songs and those stories. And I hope that this record can be that for people. All of the songs on this EP are really, really personal, introspective, therapy songs for me. And when I play them live, they seem to move people. So I have kind of heeded this call that music chose me, and I'm kind of just a vessel for this creative force that is beyond me. Also may know there's not a lot of money in music right now. You're not making a big profit from playing the little local DIY shows. There's really no money in streaming. You can play private gigs and merch stuff. There are ways to make money doing it, but when you consider all of the time, all of the gear, all of the recording costs, etc., it's we're barely breaking even over here. And that took many years for me to achieve a place where I'm barely breaking even. And I'm grateful to be in a place where that is the case. So anything helps. And I urge you, if you have a 9-to-5 or you work in tech or you come from a lineage of financial security, and you enjoy the arts, you enjoy my music, it would really just mean so much to me, and anything helps. So while I'm here, I also wanted to just talk a little bit about my journey as an artist and musician, because it's been a long, winding, bumpy road for me to get to this place. So ever since I was a really young child, I think I knew I was an artist. I was always incredibly creative, and I had a lot of mediums I liked to work with. I did visual art, I liked to dance, I liked to put on plays, I liked to write jingles. I was like always making something, always had some kind of like scheme or idea. And I don't know, at some point in elementary school, I think I just kind of internalized the cultural narrative that artists were like not valuable members of society, or that there was no way to like make a living as an artist. And I just kind of tried to like bury that part of myself and be a good kid, and I got good grades, and I went to a prestigious 4-year university, and I didn't study art. And all that time it felt like this thing that was like so critical to my mental health and well-being, that was like bubbling up inside me, just like wanting to be tended, and I was just like suppressing it more and more. And I actually visited New Orleans for the first time my senior year of college, so like 2016, on spring break, and my whole perception of what it meant to like live your life as an artist completely shifted. And it was the first time I was like, okay, I do actually think it's possible. Like you can be an artist and you can survive, and it doesn't have to be like total strife all the time. That experience like forever changed something in me. And not that I like immediately thought, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go be like a professional musician now. And it wasn't actually until a few years later that I started writing original music in spring of 2018. And that fall, I was living in Sebastopol at the time, and I reconnected with an acquaintance from high school, John LaFranchi, who is a really talented jazz bassist. And we got together to jam, and he, took me by the shoulders and was like, you're a songwriter, and you have a really special voice, and you should invest in yourself and do this, and I'm here to support you in doing that. So he became the first member of Kalinders, the co-founder of Kalinders, and we later went on to date and then to break up and continue playing in a band together. So that was its own kind of heart-wrenching Fleetwood Mac experience, to be in a band with your ex. And it finally reached a point where it felt unsustainable, and that was like a big reckoning experience for me, to be like, can I do this without him? And like, am I a songwriter, without the validation of like a more virtuosic instrumentalist supporting me? And ultimately did a lot of personal work to overcome that feeling, and decided to continue making music under the moniker Kalinders. And I put together a 4-piece band in Oakland in 2021, a group of really sweet, fun, talented people who I'm very grateful were willing to be my band, because I wasn't paying them much or at all. And we gigged really hard. We did like the local DIY show scene and met a lot of you, really like connected with the community, and I'm so grateful for that time and that experience. But after like a year and a half of doing the bar gigs and like walking away with like $80 for the whole band at the end of the night, it just felt unsustainable, and like we weren't really getting anywhere. And I knew we needed to record. I also didn't feel like we were totally ready, and I was really intimidated by the whole process, by all of the cost, investment. But we started it nonetheless. Spring of 2022, we tracked the drum and bass of this record at Tiny Telephone Studios in Oakland, with Miriam Quotas, really amazing engineer and producer, and I really wanted to work with her the whole time on the record, but realized after 2 days in the studio that we just weren't ready and we weren't going to get the takes, and I couldn't really afford to make the record that way. So I decided to then take the drum and bass and record as much as possible myself. I didn't know anything about sound engineering, so I had to take classes through Women's Audio Mission and like really just teach myself about mic choice and placement and all the things that come along with that. And that itself was a big process. There were scheduling hurdles, yada yada yada. Basically, I recorded as much of this record as I could as a way of like cutting costs and also giving myself a little space to like play with different arrangements and experiment. I'm so grateful to my friend, I don't know if he considers me a friend now, but to Jeff Saba, I consider him a friend, and an amazing engineer who really kind of like helped me wrap the whole project up. He recorded some cool like synthy overdubs and some flute on a track, and we've been mixing it together. And I'm really proud of how it turned out. I'm really excited to share it with y'all, and your financial support in this home stretch is so appreciated, and it will really make the difference in terms of this record maybe getting some plays and some airtime. I'm just so grateful to everyone who's been involved, everyone who's listened, everyone who's come up to me after a show and like told me that this art like means something to you, because yeah, that's what makes me want to do it. So free Palestine, take good care, and I'll see you all soon.